Today we're gonna talk about my favorite hero in Overwatch 2, and that is Widowmaker. And we're gonna talk about her current state in the meta and where she just overall is in the video game. Is it healthy, is it unhealthy, and so on. And well, I'm gonna be a little bit heads up here. I am a Widow main, so this means that this video will be a little bit biased. So if you wanna comment how wrong I am, do it. We do it for the engagement, so I would appreciate it. And also, guys, if you do enjoy watching Widowmaker content, if you enjoy watching Kenzo, or if you enjoy watching ABK, stuff like that, I recommend you guys to also press that subscribe button. I would appreciate it. I would love it, because that means I will pump even more videos out. That's kind of how it works. But otherwise than that, let's go into it. So, Widowmaker in herself right now is in her worst state ever. What I mean by that is that, sure, there is now 5v5 and makes her even more dominating than ever before, because the 6v6 double tank meta was really hard time for Widowmaker overall. But with that said, Widowmaker has never been in a worse state in Overwatch since basically ever. It's kind of crazy to even say that, but in my opinion, I think she is way worse off than she was in Overwatch 1, crazy enough. They've done a lot of great nerfs, and I think a lot of the nerfs are pretty validated with the 5v5 format. For an example, the range nerf is actually not a bad thing to balance the game out for a one-shot hero like Widowmaker. She's really bad close range, but she's really oppressive in long range. And the thing here is that people are getting really annoyed by getting one tap from basically across the map. So by nerfing her range the way they've done it, I think it's not too much. I think it's pretty in a great spot. It's a pretty nice sweet spot right now, and I don't believe she needs any more nerfs in itself. But with that said, I do believe she needs some kind of buff. And I know that I've done a similar video before, but this is more of a very talking in front of the camera video while you gonna watch some gameplay of her. And the reason why I think she needs a buff right now is because she is very hard to play. Basically, any other hero that has a pretty strong one-shot-ish capability has some type of movement, dash, or whatever to be able to escape from the enemies. And so do Widowmaker, which is great. But the problem here is that Widowmaker has a cooldown of 12 seconds. Compared to any other one-shot hero, if we're gonna look at Hanzo, or if we're gonna look at Ashe, for an example, both of them has a lower cooldown, which kind of makes it so much easier for them to escape any situation. And also, if you just compare to Ashe, she basically has her mini shotgun that just blasts them backwards while she blasts herself backwards. So it's also kind of a knockback that is kind of strong for a 2-hit/1-hit champion. I say /1 hit because if you have a Pocket Mercy, you will one-shot most people. That is 200 HP. And I think people are sleeping on Ashe, if I'm gonna be honest. I don't see her as much, and if people getting better with her, you're gonna dominate a lot of games. So if you learn how to play Ashe as good as you playing Widowmaker, man, I'm telling you, man, you're gonna dominate games. It's just like the headshot and then body shots or headshots. It's really strong if you learn how to shoot people with it. She's really nice as long as you know how to play her, especially when you get Bob, because that's just an extra contestant for the point, which is gonna be very helpful for your team and yourself. But going back to Widowmaker in this case, I do believe that she doesn't need any more buffs. She is extremely hard to play, especially when everybody can counter you and you have zero survivability when that happens. For an example, if you go against a Sombra, you don't have any type of movement. The second you use your grapple hook, you have 12 seconds to be able to use it. But the thing is, if you used it and you have like 4 seconds left, and a Sombra comes in and hack you, you're still gonna be killed before the 4 seconds are gonna be gone. And I think the view of that grapple hook has been kind of wrongfully adjusted for the 5v5 scenario, especially with the very movement-ish type of game. We're talking about a game where Widowmaker is pretty oppressive. She's really bad close range, and I don't believe that the buff they have done is good. The random buff that they did for Widowmaker with her bullet pellets went from 3 to 7 before it's starting to spread like crazy. I don't see it as a good buff. They only did it because Sombra was way too oppressive against a Widowmaker, and she still is. She's still extremely oppressive against a Widowmaker, and if you don't have a Mercy that pockets you, you're 100% dead every time. If you're not like insanely good at flicking and hitting headshots, but if you're going against like somewhat good players in the higher ranks, that's gonna be hard to do. And if you're a low rank, I mean, you're probably bad at playing Widowmaker, if that makes sense. And Widowmaker overall has so many counters that if you just are somewhat okay with a tank that can dive her, or if you're somewhat good with any other 2-tap heroes and getting a little bit closer to Widow, because that's kind of the key. Get closer to Widow, Widow die. That's kind of how it works. And especially if you see her a little bit out of position, that's when you can kill her most likely. If you play Tracer, I can see it a little bit harder, but Tracer is also very, very strong contestant with getting close while she's out of position, while their team are not focusing on Widow or whatever. I mean, you can do a lot of great stuff. And Widowmaker just overall is basically aim and positioning. And the thing is that you can be in a good position, but you have no escape route. The 12-second grappling hook is way too high. I believe, just as you guys have suggested in the comments, which was actually where I got this idea. I stole that idea. Fuck it. I'm gonna be straight on. I stole that idea. Now it's my idea. The grappling hook should be 9 seconds. It might be a little bit too strong, but at the same time, if you compare to any other hero in the game with any type of dash or utility that can move, agility that can move you forward or backwards or whatever, they have double, if not more. Wait. That was wrong. They have half, if not less. How do you say that? They have half of your cooldown, if not even less than you. Which means that if you use your grappling hook and they still dash after you and you're very far away, they can jump on you again before you're even gonna be able to have it up again. That's the thing. Widowmaker has no utility of actually moving around the way she should be able to do. Because Widowmaker should be able to position herself, not doing more damage. More damage is not needed. She should not, and if you're not gonna buff her HP for survivability, which I still like understand why you nerfed down to 175. I'm a little bit salty about it, but once again, if you want to Widowmaker to embrace her positioning and aim, at least do that for the Widow mains. I think that is a reasonable buff for a Widowmaker that is currently in her worst state. I don't think this is too much of an ask to do this type of change, or at least try it out, because I think that will just make it much easier for Widowmaker to move around. It would be a little bit more balanced when it comes to just being able to move around, because sometimes it just makes no sense to have such a high cooldown on that grappling hook. If 9 seconds is too low, at least try to go down to 10 seconds. Like 2 seconds difference is a big difference. And I just want to see some type of change with the grappling hooks. People want to see the venom or the poison to be removed or reworked in some way or form with Widowmaker, which I kind of understand, but at the same time I don't agree, because even though the poison is a boring kit, it is useful if you know how to use it. But it would be interesting to see if it could have a bigger area of hit effect. People are not using it as it's supposed to be. Like, if someone is coming to flank you, your trap should be able to do that. So imagine having 2 venoms instead. So you have one for a wider area or something. I think that would be a much better thing for Widow, because then it would actually be used a lot better. But I don't know. That's just an idea of what it could be. But what do you guys believe? Do you think I am too biased? And yes, I know I am biased, so you don't need to say that. But what do you think about Widow so far? I know a lot of you guys who have been following me do enjoy watching Widowmaker. I don't know if you guys enjoy playing Widowmaker on the other hand, because I do understand her big oppression. I do. And it's really annoying to go against a good Widowmaker. But at the same time, if you just know how to play around corners, if you know how to just position yourself to actually engage on a Widowmaker, most likely dead. But yeah, that's just me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was a little bit lengthy one, maybe. If not, I don't know. But if you did enjoy it, don't forget to press that like button. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. And yeah, till next time.